Well, hello again. We're back on the XR, and we're in Suches. We're going to go up to see the swinging bridge. We're off of 60. This is I forget the name of this Forest Service road, but there's a bridge back here on the Toccoa River. Today's a beautiful fall day here. It's a little chilly. I haven't been back here in a while. I actually came back here in a car the first time. This is just real hard-packed gravel. So I'm not anticipating any problems on this road. It's been very, very dry here in North Georgia. We haven't had rain. Well, we had rain very little one evening, but nothing, no significant amounts. But the leaves are a little bit past their peak. But it's still a great riding day, so I got done with work early and I figured, well, let's sneak out on the XR. I just threw my soft saddlebags on my new rack, the rack from the Ukraine. I posted another video talking about the rack. It's really a well-built. I'm very happy with it. This looks like a bee box. I came back here one time and there were people that brought some big old Harleys back here. They made it all the way back to the bridge, but you know, they weren't too thrilled about running gravel on their Harleys, all chromed out and everything. This is not really a Harley road, you know. This is adventure dual sport bike road, dirt bike. So the XR so far, knock on wood, has been doing pretty well. I think the next big thing that I would probably opt for is a different seat, probably Seat Concepts, because I'd like to do the Smoky Mountain 500 or a BDR run in the future. And even though I put new foam on, and this is a new seat cover, after about 100 some miles, my ass is sort of paralyzed. The foam is pretty hard. And I've used a friend's bike that had Seat Concepts. So I think I will probably add that, because if you're going to do any kind of real traveling, you really need, I mean, I do anyway, because some of the routes, you know, you have a lot of highway stuff, you're not always standing. So I will probably put that seat on here. And I still want to get a GPS unit. I'm thinking on the Garmin XT. I've talked about different GPSs on other videos. You know, I used to have the Montana. It's a good unit, but like I always said in other videos, I never used it enough to get proficient at it. You know, I'd use it for a ride, then wouldn't touch it for 6 months, and then it's like, God, how do I load that track, or how do I find that? You know what I mean? And so I sold that before I left California. I got practically what I paid for it, so I didn't lose really that much. And I just never totally understood it. Anyway. So I haven't been back here in probably a few years. I don't anticipate a lot of people back here. This is the hardest pack I've ever seen this road. I came on it, like I said before, in a car, and they just put a lot of gravel down. But this is such a hard packed gravel. I mean, you might as well have it. Might as well be macadam. This is a pretty little trail back here. In the summertime, you can swim back here on the river. People kayak down the river. It's a really nice spot. I've got a bunch of videos that I've got to upload. A lot of people like to take, you know, Jeeps back here and stuff, but even if you're in a Jeep or four-wheel drive vehicle, you can't nearly go as fast as we can on our bikes. Not that I'm ever doing, you know, anything crazy speed-wise. I don't, but pretty much on a vehicle on these kind of roads, you can't rip it up. And sometimes the roads get narrow and you can't get around one another. With a bike, it's real easy to just bypass whoever's blocking your road. This is really in this bike's element. This is a real tractor bike. When you have an XR, it's a good thing to cover your clutch all the time, because you really don't want to choke these bikes out. You don't want to stall them. Why, you ask? Then you gotta kick the mother. But this bike, since I've cleaned the carb and I adjusted the valves, I can't really complain about it starting. It does everything that it's supposed to do. When I took these carbs apart, it was the dirtiest carb that I've ever cleaned in a long time. I mean, we're talking green slime and real boogered up shit. I'm actually shocked that this bike started the day that I bought it. But after I cleaned it all up and rejetted it, it fired right up. And this bike has a totally new electrical system, from a new stator, 2 new regulator rectifiers, because this bike is running a dual system. It's got a 200 watt Ricky stator. So the first leg, so to speak, takes care of all the dual sport lights and the ignition stuff. And the other 100 watts, I'm not really using it at the moment, but it's there to charge cell phones, GPS, auxiliary stuff, you know. But I learned the hard way. I lost a battery. When I put everything back together, I was still using the original regulator rectifier that was in the Baja Designs dual sport kit. Well, it turned out that was sending about 20 some volts to the battery. So it really fried the battery. And it was my mistake, because I should have checked it with my multimeter. But I figured it was okay, but you know, live and learn. Look at these clowns. These people, they don't want to get their little Subarus one little scratch on them. There's actually a lot of people back here. This is like parking for the bridge. Here we are. So I am going to pull the plug on this video right now, and then I'll start it back up once I walk down to the bridge. Okay, we'll be right back, folks.